Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome back to Cannon Fodder, the channel for Arsenal fans all over this world. I'm looking down here. I'm just trying to kind of remind myself what I need to talk about this time around the evening segment. Morning. We had Raz, my brother Ralph, and Eltel, the original Godfather. I think the Godfather has got somebody who needs to be sorted out, so I don't think we're going to see him this evening. But yeah, we're going to review the news we spoke about this morning and maybe go over that. And there's other bits and pieces of injury news in regards to David Luiz. So I shall see you on the other side of this intro music. Yes, welcome back to Cannon Fodder, the channel for Arsenal fans all over this world. And it's the last segment of the day. I hope you guys enjoyed the Voice of Reason, which gets uploaded around 2:30, 3 o'clock.
Yeah, thereabouts.
Yeah, thereabouts. And
I'll have a look at the numbers. I don't think there'd be many. I'll have a look at the numbers. I don't think there'd be many, but it's appreciated. Because I feel that this is the flagship. This is the flagship. This is the Cannon Fodder TV morning segment, afternoon segment. Is the flagship. You've got the Easy Talk. The Easy Talk is the bulk load, especially when you have some good on. And my little Voice of Reason is just a little segment. It's a little filler, little stocking filler. That's where it is. Hopefully, I'll make it grow a bit more in time to come.
He's got lots of work to be done.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No dig.
Those of you just kind of tuning in now at the start, make sure you subscribe to Cannon Fodder TV. Hit the bell notification button so you can receive all the latest news right here on this channel. Tomorrow, I'm going to be uploading the next player profile video. I'm not sure who I'm going to be researching. I haven't done any research yet. Last week I did my hero, Liam Brady, and it kind of went down a storm. I was trying to hold it back. I didn't want to go all guns blazing, but I'm glad that the people and the lovely subscribers, you appear to like that. The fact that I went to the stadium, Emirates Stadium, even though it's not my preferred stadium, I prefer the old Highbury. And so tomorrow we're going to have that segment coming up around, I say, 2 o'clock. Apart from that, I'll be doing my usual morning slot and evening slot as well. But yeah, the message is always the same. Subscribe to Cannon Fodder TV. Hit the bell notification button so you can receive all the latest news right here on this wonderful channel. Right, that's my message gone.
Right.
Say again.
That's your little intro.
Yeah, my little intro. It takes a bit of a while, like 2 minutes worth. Right, wind it up. Cheers, Ralph. Well, the first thing we spoke about this morning, what did we speak about this morning? It was in regards to the youngsters. Yes, Florian Bellingham. And the fan base appeared to think that Florian Bellingham is better than Lacazette. I think maybe the fan base is just saying it because out of frustration, because Alexander, the hitman Lacazette, hasn't been hitting the right spot, and we saw he missed a couple of chances against Leicester City. And again, I just think we've got two strikers who are off form, both himself and Auba, who's supposed to be our talisman. And then we spoke about Emil Smith Rowe. Again, we want to see these youngsters get a good run out, or actually feature tomorrow. Yeah, we're back in the Europa League action tomorrow. But I think by and by, Arteta has got to be playing these youngsters, Ralph, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's got to. As we alluded to it earlier this morning, the fact that when a player's out of sorts, off form, the whole point of having a depth squad, although our squad is not really that deep, to be honest. But when you've got youngsters breaking through, you got to play them. You got to play them, and you also got to make sure there's competition for the positions as well, because there's nothing more challenging for an established player who may be out because of injury or lack of form to have that youngster biting behind. And when the youngster gets the space and gets the spot and takes full advantage because it's a I wouldn't say it's a privilege. It's what you work for. It's the end goal. You want to be in the first team, and if you put out a really great performance that makes the team win, brilliant. If you score a winning goal, fantastic. You're on a high, and then the team gathers momentum and confidence, and then it gives the manager a headache. You know, who's he going to play? He's going to play the established player who may be out of form for the real dogged matches, or will he play the youngster who's got no fear? He's playing with no fear. He's on a good run. You know, it's time for us to start. I know we're saying how Arteta's been tinkering with the team, but this is a match where if you put the youngsters in and they perform well, the next step is, you know, if we put them in against Man United. And Man United is no joke. And as much as we don't like them and they don't like us, brilliant. It's not the same. It's not the same rivalry as we used to have back in the day. But I think that we've let them off the hook too many times when we've had good teams. So it's let the youngsters in. Let the youngsters in.
Yeah, and actually, it just on the tail of Emma Smith Rowe, there is a quote from him actually. I saw on Twitter where he said, "I could see myself being a one club man." Smith Rowe in the program, as an Arsenal fan, it could be a dream to become an Arsenal legend. I want to win trophies with the team. I could see myself being a one club man if everything works out. There's not been many one club. I mean, O'Leary, Tony Adams. Who else was there? Oh, goodness, there's not been many.
No, I don't think there's been many during that period of time because most of them gone on to play for other teams in the Premiership.
Yeah, actually,
I was thinking. I remember like David Rocastle. He wanted to play for us forever, and then he got shipped out to Leeds.
Yeah.
Then if you want to go more recent times, I saw a segment about Kleb chasing Barcelona. Then you had Fabregas going to Barcelona. You had Sami Nasri,
Gael Clichy,
and who's the defender? The young defender who went to Man City.
Yeah. I probably need to do actually a bit of research and find out who has been in recent memories of one man. Well, who's played for one club for.
Yeah, I think it would have been more like I was going to say early 2000s, late 90s, early 2000s, when potentially we may have had one or two players who stayed at the club.
Yeah, I need to check that out. Right, another bit of news we didn't speak about actually in the morning segment was in regards to Manchester United, and they say themselves, and this is on Sky Sports. Manchester United say Old Trafford is ready to safely hold around 23,500 fans for matches in accordance with social distancing guidelines. I mean, to be honest, I can't see that happening this side of 2020. Maybe next year, but although they're probably prepping themselves up, that won't happen this side of 2020. Ralph.
No.
Yeah.
But I think originally, before fire break in South Wales and the tier 1 to tier 3 in Scotland, England, and Ireland, I think there was original plans for to try and have like a drip effect of fans going back into the stadium. For it would have been about this time of year. I think that was the call. I'm not sure if
October. It was supposed to be October, but yeah, then they reviewed it and they said, well, actually, it's not going to happen this year, but maybe next year. Definitely, I can see that. But it's good to see that they say that they've prepped, they've got all the guidelines, in regards to the COVID and the social distancing. 23,500. Wow, my goodness. And the other bit of news, again, we never spoke about this this morning, was in regards to David Luiz, and he's going to be out for the best part of 2 weeks with a thigh muscle strain. So you won't see him tomorrow play against Dundalk, and I can hear some people cheering. Hey, I might be one of them, but I don't like to see players get injured. But yeah, he won't be playing against Dundalk.
No, but it's it's going to happen. It's going to happen. Doesn't matter
Yeah.
who you. As much as you want your team to be successful and have a really strong team, at some point someone's going to get injured, or like I mentioned before yesterday, someone's going to get sent off for a lack of form. So we have to, be prepared for those kind of eventualities, and have those players standing by who can slip into those areas. So it'll be interesting to see, how our defense would line up against Dundalk and then against Man United.
Yeah. Let's go into the live chat and see who is here. I can see my two moderators have already entered the building. We've got David Trower, who says hello and welcome to Cannon Fodder TV. Get yourself comfortable and relax with us. If you're new here, then welcome. It's great to see you here. Please like and subscribe to become part of the Cannon Fodder TV family. And the other moderator, Monty, it says hi Alex, hi David, and hello to the Cannon Fodder TV family. And hello to you as well, Monty. Do you want to say something, Ralph, to Monty? No?
Yes, Monty. Is your man going to play tomorrow? and also, David, I think we may have to just make sure you put some kind of like a copyright on that Goonalicious.
Yeah, well, there you go. Colin Young says, woohoo! Alex is feeling Goonalicious. Hello. Lars Jenner says, hello, Gooners, and hello to you, my friend. I hope you're well. Say hello to your family from everyone on Cannon Fodder TV. Colin Young says, play Saliba, 6'5". I didn't realize he was taller than Gabriel.
I thought he was a 6 footer. I didn't think he'd be 6'5". That's a basketball player.
Yeah. I would rather lose with a future than wallow in this process. Yeah.
That's a fair point.
Got to see these players, man. I want to see these players. And of course, Monty's reminding everyone that check out our merchandise. I haven't had a purchase in the merchandise for just short of a month now. What's going on, people? Go and make a purchase with the Cannon Fodder TV logo. Yeah, what's going on, people? Or better still, easier still, you can make a purchase a donation of as little as £1 in a super chat. And I always get confused, where's the super chat button? I think it depends. If it's on your mobile, I think it's to your right. If you're looking at your desktop, it's to your left. Or I always get confused. Ashley D says, hey up, Gooners. Power to the people. Sorry, I've gone.
I'm just laughing about his comment that he made about me the other day.
What was that? What did he say about you?
I think it was slightly ageist in his information. So,
you might be an older, but you look good for 60.
Yeah.
Oh, you said Ralph's actually 65.
Backhanded compliment, I think they call it. So.
We are talking future here. Smash the likes, cannon heads. Thank you for that. One club, that's lower passion right there. But yeah, Colin, I'm not sure how far back you go. Ralph and I, we're just trying to think, who has been a player who's played at Arsenal for his entire career. I think Pat Rice. Did Pat Rice just stay at Arsenal for all his career? I need to do my homework, man.
Wasn't going anywhere else. Pat Rice, George Armstrong.
Could be.
George Armstrong is another one. I know my favourite, Charlie George. He was with Arsenal, but he went to Derby.
Yeah.
Came back. That's like late 70s, 80s, 90s. I don't think anyone. I remember Michael Thomas, famous Michael Thomas. He went to Liverpool.
Yeah. Rotten scoundrel. But anyway, that's going to be something that definitely I'm going to do my research and find out. Say again?
We can leave that to those who are viewing, our subscribers, if anyone will come up and
probably name which Arsenal players stayed at Arsenal for their whole entire career. Hello to Alex, Ralph, Monty. I hope you are all well. Hello to all the Cannon Fodder family. We hope you're all feeling goonalicious. Please hit the like and subscribe if you are new here. I tell you what, David, you need to put a patent on a copyright on that goonalicious, man. That's got some legs on it, man.
We've heard it first, anyway.
Yeah. The definition of one club man, Francesco Totti. Yeah,
Yeah.
was it Torino? He played. Was it Torino? I can't remember the team that he played for. But yeah, anyone can come in and let us know which players that stayed at Arsenal for their entire career. It's beyond me. I can't remember.
Henrik Larsson, I was going to say for Celtic, but then he ended up going to
Yeah, no.
he went to he moved to Barcelona, didn't he? Or
I think so. Yeah.
yeah.
Colin Young says, "This young one talks jacks me up." Okay, all right. Let's get on there. I'm not sure what's going on there. Hello, Lars Janice. Welcome, bro. And there's 10 gooners here. Let's get the likes up. There was what's the other bit of news I wanted to talk about? Oh, we were speaking about William Saliba, and LTL, the original Godfather, did say really the club need to be speaking to him and see about getting him to play for Arsenal. I mean, we waited the whole season to get him over here. He wanted to stay at St. Etienne to prove himself. He's over here, and we're not playing him. And another player, Ralph, that we're not playing, apart from Ainsley Maitland-Niles, El Neni. Sometimes yes, sometimes no. What have they done? To be dropped?
I don't know. Is it just his mind at this moment in time? Because if he's still suffering with a bereavement, those things are very hard to shift, and it's you've got to be in a good place. You've got to be in a good place to want to play and everything as well. And you did. I think you mentioned earlier as well the fact that he could have played for France in their final.
Yeah.
So some of those things, if they go against you, you tend to think, well, what's the point? I mean, he's a young man. I'm just hoping that the people around him are giving him lots of support and just say to him, look, at the end of the day, how happy are you? How are you feeling? Because with grief, it hits people in different ways, and I don't want us to be a club that would just say, look, you got to play if he's not feeling mentally right, and it's all about well-being these days as well. If the player's not feeling right to play, then we have to give him that space. And I know it may sound a bit impatient because we're up and coming against teams now. We don't have a luxury, but at the same point, it's a duty of care as well.
Yeah, and the play that I spoke about yesterday was Squadron and Mustafi. Arsenal, incredibly enough, they were offering him extension to his contract. I could not believe it after everything that this player's put us through, and thank goodness he turned down that offer there of a contract extension. Thank goodness. What Arsenal thinking, Ralph, by offering this player a contract extension after everything, making mistakes, giving away penalties, the likes of David Luiz, and yet Arsenal still wanted to offer this player a contract extension. I just find it laughable, to be honest. Laughable.
Well, I said it's one of his best decisions that he's made to I don't think he can physically take it anymore. I think his time's up, as it were. But it's been up for a long time. But it just goes to show the fact that if we're still thinking about paying this guy after the years that he's been at the club, and he's gone away with so many decisions that's gone against us, and I can't remember a time when he was really good or when he had a really good run of games. I'm struggling to find when it was.
Well, I've been told over the last couple of days that Arteta has improved him, but he's still not good enough. He's not good enough. He's not good enough. And you blame him for the goal, don't you, Leicester City?
Yeah. Still.
Yeah. So he hasn't improved. He hasn't improved. Let me go back into the live chat. I think it's kind of warmed up a bit now. And let's have a look here. That's it. He played for Roma, Totti, Francesco Totti. I'll try my best to be to patent the Goodalicious for sure. Thank you guys. Yeah, I'll tell you what, that's got some legs on that, man. You need to put a copyright on that, baby. Definitely, man. Colin Young says the one thing I've been happy with Arteta is the defense. Get that big young Saliba in there as well. Absolutely. Colin, who would be your ideal back three or back four? So there's a question for everyone in the live chat. We spoke about the attacking three, and who do you say would be your
back
three,
four or three?
Your attack? You said
No, I said the three for attack. Yeah.
Say again?
Sorry, no, I'm agreeing with you. You did say the three for attack.
Yeah. Who did you say your three attackers would be?
I said Martinelli, Abba, and I said Eddie. Put Eddie in there.
Yeah, and I concur. So maybe this time round, if everyone come in and say, who would be your ideal back three or back four? Who would be your ideal back three or back four, Ralph?
That injury. Oh, hang on a minute. Well, that injury, it would be Holding, Saliba, Gabriel.
Wow. Oh, wow. Okay. Are you with us or are you with the Woolwich?
Hey, how you doing, man?
Yeah, all right, man. All right.
I just dropped in from the International Space Station.
Eltel, this morning we spoke about the ideal attacking three. We're just talking about the ideal, back three or back four. Who'd be your ideal personnel in the defence at Arsenal?
Tierney, Gabriel,
I missed him.
Luiz.
No.
Because I can't think of anybody that is on form. I can't think of a right. It has to. I mean, Arteta's very much into left and right-footed players. So I've never rated Chambers, so I can't stick Chambers in it. Right back. At the moment, it's going to have to be Bellerin, who we all thought this morning that Ainsley might do a better job there, but I think it's going to be Bellerin. But I'm trying to think who you'd put in as a centre back alongside Gabriel. I suppose the one that stands out, if he's prepared to do it, and if he's mature enough now, is Saliba. It's a bit of a shame that he's already, technically he could have been with us last season, and he's with us, if you like, a season late, and yet for some reason they aren't playing him. So let's hope he's got his sort of mojo back, and he's ready to play again. But that would be my back four. Yeah.
My back four would be Tierney. Centre backs would be Saliba and Gabriel, and right back will be Cedric Suarez. Only for the mere fact that he's both footed. He can play left footed and right foot. And when he was at Southampton, he actually covered both spots, left back and right back. So that would be my ideal back four. No space for David Luiz. Surprise, surprise. I'm sorry.
I did on Mitts, I put three, but if it's going to be a four, a back four, then definitely Tierney. Tierney would definitely be in there. I think he kind of will help marshal the back with Gabriel, Holding, and Saliba. So I'll put Tierney in there as well.
Okay.
The funny thing about Holding is, guys, if you examine his game, he's got big weaknesses. He isn't fast. He doesn't turn quick. And you'd think he wouldn't be a good player. But once you put him out there, especially in big games, he seems to sort of raise his standard. And he's never let us down in the semi-final or a cup final. Do you remember the one where he took on the Chelsea guy, Costa, was it?
Costa, yeah.
And he was giving him, Costa thought he could kind of bully him, being a young guy. and he wasn't having it. So I think he's got a little bit of devil in him, even though he looks as though butter wouldn't melt in his mouth.
Yeah.
A bit of devil in him, and he stands up to these guys. And I'm sure lots of your viewers have played football in teams, and if you're up against a tough guy and you know he's going to go straight through you, it makes you think twice about the way you're playing.
But like you rightly say, he's not the fastest of the defenders, but each time he's come up against Mane in Liverpool, he's managed to man and control Mane. And Mane is a tricky player.
I think it's because he's got great anticipation. His spatial awareness is good. He can anticipate where the player's going. And he's obviously played against speedy players before, and he knows how to shepherd them away from trouble. And if push comes to the shove, he can do a very, very well-timed tackle. So, which is why I think Arteta, when you first look at him, you think he's got a lot of weaknesses. But Arteta was going to send him out on loan. And then he obviously saw more in him, which is what I'm suggesting he has, and said, no, I want to keep you here. And he's never let us down. I'm trying to think of a match where he let us down. And I can't. Certainly in big matches, when you watched him carefully, he very rarely... Yes, he does mistime the ball. Well, all centre-backs do that because a ball coming across the area. Anybody who remembers a fella by the name of Willie Young years ago had some of the worst timing you will ever see.
He was all hair, he was.
Whatever happened to him?
Before I go back into the live chat, we were just talking about players who stayed at Arsenal for their entire career. And we can only think of a couple, Tony Adams and O'Leary. Which other players stayed at Arsenal for their entire career?
First one actually...
Pat Rice?
I was going to say George Armstrong and Pat Rice, but no, because George went to Leicester at the end of his career and Pat to Watford.
Oh, right.
So you'd have to think of players that... What about Radford? I don't remember John Radford going anywhere.
Did he go to Liverpool?
No. I think John Radford... Oh, no, did he go to West Ham? Right.
No, Ray Kennedy. Ray Kennedy went to Liverpool, didn't he?
Yeah.
That's that's an interesting question. Which players would have come through the youth team and stayed, and it would have been somebody with big numbers in terms of... Oh, Bob Wilson.
Bob Wilson? Yeah?
Yeah, he'd be a club man.
I can't think of anybody else.
Peter Storey.
You see, Pat Jennings, he left us to go to Tottenham, didn't he?
No, he came from...
He started at Tottenham.
Yeah.
He started at Tottenham, came to us.
And then he went back to Tottenham.
Yeah.
Sod.
I think the thing is, lads, it was more common back in the days when players didn't get paid a great deal and they stayed because they got a testimonial.
Yeah.
And that was to see them through into their retirement. Whereas now...
Alan Smith?
Huh?
Alan Smith?
No, he came from Leicester.
He came from Leicester, yeah.
Yeah. Very fun.
So it's hard.
Everyone else has come from somewhere. We have to throw it out.
Say again?
I think we have to throw it out there. So,
everyone's like watching now. There's like 20 odd of you watching. Anyone who can like list a good fair players who actually came through the academy or the youth system at Arsenal and stayed for their entire career at Arsenal. I can only name like three or four players.
Yeah.
Oh, that's got you thinking, innit? I'll tell.
Well, do you know what it is, lads? It'll have to go back a bit because of staying for the testimonial, I think.
Yeah.
So you could look at who had testimonials. Peter Storey did, I'm pretty sure. But a lot of them get that final payday, and now they go off to all kinds of places for the last few seasons of their career. So that's a very good point, because there should be a Hall of Fame for those guys.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, let's go back into live chat and see who else has joined, or maybe has a whole list of names. Here's one here for Raz. Colin Young says, yes, Raz, spot on there with Saliba. That's the only thing that would be understandable with playing the guy that turns down instead. Yes, yeah, we need Saliba, man. Need him.
Yeah.
Monty, the moderator, says El Neni should have played every game this season if we were picking players based on form. Hasn't done anything wrong. Nothing wrong.
No.
Apart from that penalty that he missed against Liverpool.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Monty.
Hey, you said that, I didn't, right? So let me know.
Imagine a midfield with Partey, Saka, and Smith Rowe. They'll tell.
Yeah, I like it, man. I mean, I'd see Partey as the guy that would sit in front of the back four. Smith Rowe moves through with the ball really well, plays it through into passing, good passing lanes vertically, and Saka, of course, is he's got a very good chance of being one of the great Arsenal players. Yeah. I mean, he's still what is he, 19? He plays with maturity. He drops into the hole. He drops into space. He sees things. He plays left back, wing back, winger, number 10. You know, he's got it. He's got it all, and I think he's got his head. Did you see the photo of the training today? And who's got his arm round Saka? But Gabriel. And I just thought, I like that. I like
future
that.
captain. Future captain. Yeah. Tell, do you think Smith Rowe gets wrongly labelled as the new Aaron Ramsey?
I think he's got more to his game than Aaron Ramsey, actually. I'm not saying he's better, but Aaron Ramsey was good at bursting in from midfield into the penalty box late and those kind of things. And he's done very well at Juve since then. But I think Smith Rowe is more of an all-rounder. I think he's got a better defensive game on him. He's good at twisting and turning, wonderful ball control. So, yeah, I think Smith Rowe may well have a lot more to his game. You know, he looks a more rounded player.
Okay. David says Mustafi turning the contract down is the best thing he has ever done for Arsenal. He knows he's not loved at the club. Why stay where you're not wanted? I just find it really incredible Arsenal would offer Mustafi a contract. I just don't understand that, Ralph.
You know, to me, it sounds as if the person who offered him the contract probably didn't know or didn't watch the match.
Possibly.
At the weekend. You know, just have no clue about where we stand at this moment in time with our players. That's what it feels like.
Oh, God, yeah, you mean. Colin says Gabriel Saliba with Tierney and Ainsley Maitland-Niles rounding out the back four. Okay. Yeah, we didn't mention Ainsley Maitland-Niles, did we? Well, I didn't anyway.
Not
as a back
not
four.
Now.
Not as a back four.
No, not as a back four. I think we did talk about Ainsley Maitland-Niles. He does do a really good link-up play with Partey. Not Partey, big pardon, with Pepe.
Yeah. Ashley D says, Man United have an extra man on Sunday, Mike Dean.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Definitely. Forget VAR, forget the linesman, forget the ball could hit the back of the net. You know, it could be a perfectly legitimate goal. When you got Mike Dean there, that's just another asset. I don't care. I don't care if we, you know, YouTube sends his video and we get reported or whatever. Mike Dean, I just don't understand how this guy is still refereeing, because his decisions are awful. He's never consistent, especially against us.
David says my back four is Niles, Gabriel, Saliba, and Tierney. Okay. Monty says offering Mustafi a contract is proof there is some deluded people working within the club that we love so dearly.
About that, I thought the reason why the club offered him a contract is they don't want him to go at the end of the contract for free. So if they give him a naff contract and say to a club, well, if you want him, you're going to have to pay £5 or £6 for him.
As much as that.
Hang on a minute. Let me see what's in my pocket.
The Godfather is here. I better say hello. Hello.
Hey, I didn't know I was coming on. Just sitting down to watch on telly.
Bring back Stepanov and Sagan. Oh, no.
Gosh.
No.
But they, you know what? Weirdly enough, though, they were in the team when we was in the top 4.
I know, but
I think the famous story. Stop me if you've heard it. Do you know the famous story about us signing Stepanov?
Was it the one?
I must have read it. Biography.
I'm trying to think who it was.
Well, basically, somebody had told Wenger that there was this guy that was.
Oh yeah.
So he got him, and the players thought he was Dyer. Absolutely. But just for a laugh, they said, when Wenger asks, if he asks, let's tell him that the bloke's a blinder. Wonderful player. So it was a wind-up. Wenger went away and signed him.
Oh, it's lovely, isn't it? That says, as a striker for many years, I always welcome players coming at me, as I always testing myself to get around them. I have to say, I was a very skillful player and enjoyed taking players on. Well, you should play for the Arsenal then, David.
Yeah, come on, David.
Yeah.
Get your kit on, mate. What about Cliff Bastin?
Hey, get your kit off there.
Oh dear Lord.
Oh dear. What about Cliff Bastin? He says.
No, they bought him from Exeter.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, they got him from Exeter. But a cracking player. I'm trying to think who else would have come through. That's an interesting one. Just a quick one. A guy once gave me an old book of a collection of, I think it was Daily Express articles by the great Herbert Chapman. And this guy picked it up somewhere and just said, look, you're an Arsenal fan, you can have it. And they're only little short kind of chapters on it. And I remember reading one and I just thought it was such a modern quote. And he said, you can have the ball, your team can have the ball too often in a game. Meaning that if you're constantly attacking, you're going to leave spaces behind, as we did against Leicester. And when I read it, I thought this guy wrote this in about 1930. And it's as true today as it was then.
Oh, well, blimey, man. Oh.
Yeah. What's that?
Don Arsenal. Welcome back, Don Arsenal says, how can Mikel, actually, by the way, Don Arsenal does not like Mikel Arteta. He wants Mikel Arteta to be sacked. I'm just kind of forewarning you. He says, how can Mikel Moyes Pulis Arteta sit there and say teams show us respect, so we're going to win games? Disrespectful, Ralph.
Okay. Well, I did put down the fact that Arsene Wenger used to pretty much say the very same thing as well. Arsene Wenger would come up with some ridiculous statements after a match. Sometimes I think after a really heated match, it's the least time you want to be interviewed because all your anger and frustrations will boil over. But Arsene Wenger was a very meticulous manager at the time, and he would come up with some of the most ridiculous statements about, oh, the team sat too deep, or we weren't prepared, or stuff like that. So for Mikel to say that, it's not right. It's not right. It's not worth, I mean, Don is entitled to his opinion, but you have to also think about other managers who have come out and said pretty much the same thing, and actually, there's other managers who've said worse things than Arteta and Wenger. You know, the list is as long as my arm if you want to go into it, but it's no point thinking about it. People say daft things, but then I feel that the best thing to try and rectify it is to get a positive result the following match.
Yeah. Colin Young says that Smith Rowe reminds me of Cazorla. I'm just saying. Not really.
I think we have to give him time.
Yeah.
Give him time.
Too soon.
It's still early doors.
Don goes on to say, the quicker Arteta leaves, the better we get to keep our young players, such as Smith Rowe, Saliba, Bellingham, Saka, Maitland-Niles, and Tierney. Hotel.
Well, I don't know why you want to. You've got to give Arteta a season or two. And so far, you might have seen there's been a comparison with the first certain number of games that Emery and Arteta have their sort of record over the first few games, or the first 20 games, and they're very comparable. They're very, very similar. So I think we've now come past the honeymoon period, and what a honeymoon! An FA Cup win and a Charity Shield win. I mean, that's fantastic. But he's going to earn his medal. I nearly said Spurs there. He's going to earn his medal now, because the team is not exactly in a hole, but we are caught at the moment between knowing whether to go to a flat back four, stay with this 5 across the back. Teams have worked us out. Arteta was quoted today as saying that the fact that Leicester defended so deeply against us, and their game plan was to bring on their Vardy and try and score a breakaway goal. He said we should see as a sign that teams are fearing us and teams are trying to stop us scoring all. But then that kind of puts him into the situation where he has to solve this now, because let's face it, most of the teams we drop points against unnecessarily are the so-called weaker teams, you know, and we're gonna, when we play Burnley and teams like that, they are going to get 10 men behind the ball, and we've got to find a way of getting around this low block. A bit worrying as well was that I think we were at the top of the charts for the number of successful conversions of chances. So we were always scoring with almost every chance that came our way. Now that stopped in a couple of recent games, but that's bad in some ways, because it means we aren't making enough chances. So he's got all those things to contend with. Yeah, but this just after what Don is saying, I think Don. I think between now and Christmas, we are going to find out if post honeymoon period, if Arteta really has it as an Arsenal manager. And if you remember, guys, Emery started off with a run of wins and draws and so on. So yeah.
Okay. Don Arsenal again. I think we'll put Xhaka at left back and Ceballos at right back. He did that against Leicester City. You don't like Arteta, do you, Don Arsenal?
Yeah, I'm getting a bit of a vibe there.
Yeah. What did we buy? Go and tell.
What has Arteta ever done to Don?
I have no idea.
He seems quite a nice bloke to me, that Arteta.
I agree with Colin. He has similarities to Cazorla. They're talking about Smith Rowe. I think it's too soon to say, actually, to compare Smith Rowe to Cazorla. Too soon to say. Too soon.
Let's see in real time. Let's see him in real time.
Yeah. Alex, can you find out who offered Mustafi a contract extension so I can have a one-on-one chat about my opinion? The person who probably will know is not me. It's not Ralph. It's the Godfather himself.
Yeah,
how connected are you, Tel?
I'll find out now. I've got to ask on now. Who the hell? I think it was probably Raul again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think there was something going on with him because he suddenly vanished, didn't he? And the club were very careful not to say why.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
he was obviously a very good friend of Mustafi's wife or something. I don't know.
Moving on quickly. DWTT says hello, Channel 4 TV and panel, and good evening to you as well, DWTT. Perhaps a little more specifics on Smith Rowe, Cazorla, similarities. I'm referring to the well-rounded player, but more even would be how he carries the ball. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I can see that because I've watched him quite a lot, and he's one of those guys. He can go left, go right. You know, he's not exactly as two-footed as Cazorla, but you can't tell by the way he's running which way he's going to go. Which is, you know, whereas some of our players, you know, they're very one-footed. Even Pepe, for all his skills, you know, he's always going to cut inside. You know,
Predictable.
yeah.
But you know, if we do see Smith Rowe, who would you who would you pull out in the midfield to put Smith Rowe in, Ralph? Who would you put in there? Who would you take out? Sorry, who would you take out?
Xhaka.
Exactly. Yes.
Xhaka.
Yeah.
Xhaka. It's to me, it's as clear as day, because he's again, he's one of those players who's been in the team for a long time, and he hasn't been consistent. He has a really good game. I think for every one good game he has maybe 4 or 3 mediocre games. He doesn't really fill me with any kind of like real confidence. The only time I remember actually that time when we was in the pub, and we was watching the match against Crystal Palace.
Yep.
I think we lost the match 2-1, and he scored a free kick. After that free kick, that to me that was it. There was nothing else that he was doing for the whole of that match. So I and you know, from Sunday, all the passes he did between him and
Gabriel.
Sabaya. No, you know, again, to me, he's another player that we can do without. I'm not sure when his contract's going to be up anytime soon, I suppose. But put Emil right in there, Monk, and put Xhaka on the bench.
All right, yeah. I've just seen this David. A little humor. During the pandemic, everyone was going crazy for toilet paper. For me, there's plenty of Tottenham magazine paper.
Leave myself out.
David.
Every Arsenal fan, we love
it. Oh dear. Well, Colin says that it would either be Ceballos or Xhaka. Yeah, Xhaka. Richard, evening Richard. He says, I don't know why I don't rate Dani Ceballos. Such kind of a players make you think you've got a world-class player. All he does is make himself busy. Arsenal should go all out for Iso with his situation. I love Dani Ceballos. I just thought he had a little indifferent game against Leicester City. And don't forget, he came back. He was injured as well. But some players do give the impression that they're doing something. But with Ceballos, he is a good player. But someone said to me, we do have to buy another creative player because remember, Dani Ceballos, he's not ours. He's still a Real Madrid player. He's working on loan. But long term.
Leicester as well. I don't know whether he was working to Arteta's orders, but I much prefer him playing a lot further forward, you know. And again, he's good in tight spaces, and that zone 14, you know, around the D is when it does get congested. And I think he's a good player there. But when he and Xhaka were just passing the ball to each other, it was just going nowhere fast. And Leicester knew that was happening. We knew it was happening, and it was for almost the whole game. It was no penetration. So that's a big thing that Arteta has to solve, really.
Yeah. And actually, Colin just says that, Ceballos isn't even an Arsenal player. He's on loan from Real Madrid.
Yeah.
Colin, I chose Sabitzer, but seriously, I'd go with El Neni instead of Ceballos. Really?
Well, you said yourself, Alex. El Neni's hasn't done anything to be dropped.
No, but my preferred midfield would have been Thomas Partey, Ceballos, and El Neni. That would have been my midfield three there. But he's saying that he would have played El Neni instead of Ceballos. Well, horses for courses. Horses for courses. Yeah. Richard says Arsenal this January should go in for Iso or Salzburg or Redbird Salzburg. I featured him like 3 or 4 times already. He wouldn't cost Arsenal more than maybe £25 million, and he's only 20 years of age. So start saving up your coins now, Arsenal. That's what I say. Or do a GoFundMe page, either one. Colin says, "Oh, I was referring to who to take out." Yeah, well, yeah. Watch people going to the magazine section now. They will be Arsenal fans. I don't know what you're talking about, David. No idea what you're talking about. There's a question.
You should go to a news very near the Tottenham ground. Pick one of their Tottenham magazines and say to the person that you're buying it off, is it absorbent paperlight? And they'll go, what? It's be absorbent. It's got to be absorbent. I don't like this greasy stuff. I want it. And they'll go, well, say, you don't want to know.
Oh, dear. Here's the only one topic that we're going to deal with. And Gongar says, Cannon, is Ceballos better than our number 10? Ralph, you don't have to answer if you don't want to, because I've already said to my moderators, but I'm going to try and put an embargo on talking about our number 10. I've had enough about talking about it, but we'll deal with this question here very quickly.
Okay, very quickly. Back in the day, he was the man. He had when he came to us, okay, he started play and flair, but he's a luxury player that we can't afford. So if you're going to put him not currently, but if you want to put him pre-COVID and Ceballos, he wasn't doing as much as he should be doing. Hence the reason why we got Ceballos. So to me, it may be unfair, it may be totally wrong, and he may have more PR and Twitter followers and everything else than Ceballos. But at this moment in time, and going forward, it's got to be Ceballos.
Okay. Elto, do you want to answer that question? Who's better for you?
Just to say that Ozil, yes, he had sublime talent. Some of the greatest moments we've seen at Arsenal in the last, I don't know, few years have been with Ozil playing these sublime passes and scoring wonderful goals. And he even invented a type of goal scoring, didn't he, where he'd hit the ball into the ground. Then bounce over the goalkeeper. And you often saw him going past people, ghosting past them, and defenders would fall on the floor with their feet up in the air. They just didn't know which way he was going. But I'm afraid his best days are behind him. I think he's lost his sort of mojo, really. I think he's so incredibly fit now. He's got his World Cup medal. He's won all kinds of things with different teams he's played with. And, I just think he would be... they have to allow him to train, so otherwise he wouldn't be fulfilling his contract, and neither would Arsenal. But I can't see them bringing him back in, because I get a feeling that there's a bad, and that the players know that Arteta, and perhaps even the players, we won't know this, but he definitely won't track back. And you might remember when a few years ago when Cannon Fodder was starting, I spotted that he never went to grounds that were up in the north, especially when it was cold. And it's now a well-known fact. I read somebody say that in the newspaper. When we played Newcastle, he suddenly couldn't travel. Yeah. If it was West Ham, it was fine. So I don't know. He's had his best days. I don't want to badmouth the guy.
Yeah.
But thank you, and
Adios.
that's it. And he should really be going off to pastures new now. I don't know why Well, I do know why he hangs around, because we're paying him a king's ransom.
Yeah.
But I can't see how he needs any more money than he currently has, and I really don't think, as you said, that we shouldn't really be talking about him, because he's yesterday's news, and he had some wonderful times, and Arsenal moves on.
Here. DWT says, until Emma Smith Rowe is healthy, I find it difficult to think of him as an answer to some of our woes. What if his first game is awful? We can't much from that performance. He'll still need games. But if you don't play him, how is he going to become a match fit? So we've got to see these players. And I'm hoping to see him tomorrow against Dundalk. Yes, because Ceballos is in the team right now. I think he's just kind of talking about this comment here. And I'm not able, leave it like that. Yeah. And what more was there? What else was there? All right, it is one. DS Electronics Limited says, Divisional Godfather is in the house. Where is Crab, aka Shaka?
Sideways on. Sideways. He's the sort of player, if you were playing in his team, you turn around to him and say, well, you stop playing it sideways. Play it forward, man. You know?
Dearie me. I mean, wouldn't Arteta be telling these players that?
Well, the players like him. You know, Emery got players to sort of vote who should be captain, and he got the vote. So he's obviously very popular in the sort of dressing room. I've no idea why, because on the pitch, he doesn't really lead. He doesn't G people up, and I suppose he passes the ball to you a lot if you happen to be on there. But as long as you're not in front of him, if you're beside him, he'll pass it to you. You know, I did notice as well, I don't know if anybody's picked this up, that our new guy, Thomas Partey, he didn't get many passes. Now, I know he was being man-marked, and maybe he should have been stepping a yard or two away from the guy marking him, but we didn't seem to have a system whereby it went through him. And he's a wonderful guy moving through that middle third. So hopefully, if we do play, we may not play him tomorrow, but if we do, obviously we're playing against Man United. But he needs to find a way of escaping his marker, you know.
Yeah. DWTT says, California TV, I like my tic-tac-toes without the X's and the O's and your discussions, LOL. Yeah, we're not mentioning the O name, but yeah, Shaka maybe. Just lastly before we wrap up this one this evening. Dearie me. E. Samuel says, you guys are too politically correct. Answer the question. He is better. Who is better? Are you talking about? Yeah, no. We've spoken about this player many times. We've been going for almost 3 years. And it's probably dominated at least 50% of my airtime on California TV, and it's more than enough. It's enough. And there you go. My moderator is just saying the same thing. Samuel, let's move on from that subject. Thank you, Monty, for backing us up for that. Oh my goodness. You can watch his Twitter, Samuel. Dear me. And here's a bit of a game flash. Champions League. Man United 1, Leipzig 0. Guys, I think we've come to an end. Actually. Yeah, it's been a blast. Doubling up. We don't. I mean, you guys like a bus in London. You wait ages, and all of a sudden you come in twos. It's been very, very, very good to have an Elton, the original Godfather, back on Canon 4 TV. And long may it continue. Here, young sir. And of course, my brother Raz. I hope you enjoyed The Voice of Reason. Comes up every Wednesday around lunchtime on Canon 4 TV. And also, as well, you've got to subscribe to Canon 4 TV. Help us towards 10,000 subscribers. LTL, did you manage to think of another player that played for Arsenal for his entire career? I can't think of anybody else.
I was wondering if Eddie Kelly or somebody from that era, maybe Peter Simpson. I don't remember Peter Simpson going off to somebody else, but it would have to be somebody from a long way back, I think, or somebody got sort of injured at the age of 28 or something.
Yeah.
Because they all go on away for a final payday nowadays somewhere. It's an interesting one.
I can't think of anyone.
Alan Ball?
No, he played for Everton first.
Yeah, no.
Who else? It's more likely to be a forward, you know, because forwards
Why you say that?
And often have to retire early. I still think of a forward, maybe Radford. Who else? It's hard to think of someone.
I might have a look in one of my encyclopedias and see if there's a previous
and it
stream.
needs to be a player who's come through the youth team.
Yeah.
I don't think there'd be many.
No, there's not many. I can't think of any.
No, I can't.
I'm going to ask James Rowe. Maybe James might know.
Yeah, James.
Yeah. James will do it.
All right. Okay, so we've come to an end. I will be back tomorrow morning, giving some more live Arsenal news. And make sure again, guys, that you subscribe on this channel. And if by chance you've been wondering who or what you've been listening to, well, you've been listening to Cannon Fodder, ain't you? The channel for Arsenal fans all over this world. And you've been told to subscribe by the Godfather himself. You've been told.